What's up, everybody? Matt in Virginia, Patch for Cards, bringing you a contest response video for Bluejacket 66, having his 250 subscriber contest. Let's see if I wrote it down here. I did not write it down. I think it's 250, 200 or 250, one of the two. So, first of all, certainly, congratulations, Dave, on reaching 250 subscribers. Well done. With your collection and your content, certainly would expect that number to just keep on skyrocketing, because you got some amazing stuff over there, buddy. Love to see your videos. Love, obviously, the vintage and the regional stuff, the kind of quirky, off the wall, non-mainstream cards that you pick up. And of course you did the Bowman set with your dad, and wow, that's amazing in and of itself. So very cool. I think I subscribed to you way back in the day. You may have, I don't think you'd been on YouTube very long. I don't think I had either, quite honestly. And I think I heard somebody mention you, so I checked you out and been watching you ever since. So thanks for all the great content, and certainly thank you for putting on this wonderful contest. So the two things that he wanted to know was who inspired us or inspires us in the collecting world, and then what other stuff do we collect. So I don't really collect anything else other than baseball cards. I have a handful of autographed baseballs, and I got some little trinkets, some Philadelphia stuff here and there that I've just grabbed over the years. But baseball cards in and of itself is pretty much enough to keep me busy. So I've not veered off into football or basketball or hockey as much as I probably would like to, because I do follow all those sports pretty closely, and would love to have collections of those as well. But for now, it's just baseball cards, and I'm cool with that. That's obviously where I started, and I'll get into that in a minute. It's kind of where I started, and I collect today pretty much like I did 40 years ago when I first got in the game. So I've told my story a few times on a few different videos, but for your contest, I'll certainly do it again. I give my majority of my inspiration for my collecting to my father. He was and is a coin collector, nothing crazy, but just some coins he's had over the years, and he still kind of dabbles to this day. But nobody else in my family was a card collector, but I would see him collecting coins or looking at the coins, and it was very intriguing to me to think about putting different coin sets together. But that just didn't seem to catch my full attention. But as a kid, and still today as an adult, I've been a huge sports fan. My father, my brother, and myself all played sports all through our younger years, so we're all pretty much sports nuts. So I got to thinking, well, instead of coins, maybe I could do sports cards. So 1978 is the first year I remember opening a lot of packs of Topps baseball. It's the first design that's kind of burned into my head, is that 1978 Topps design. So I would have been 7 years old, so I kind of credit that as my start, that year, 1978. And then I've just continued on since then. Like most people, through your high school and college years, I slowed down. I never stopped. I did slow down and didn't collect as much during those years. And then as you get established and all that stuff, you kind of get back heavy into it. But I did manage to collect all through those years. So I got a nice run of Topps base sets that I'm working on. But my father's been there every step of the way to this day. If he's visiting, of course he lives in New York, I'm in Virginia, we're about 8 hours apart. He comes down several times a year, and if he's here, he's going to help me sort cards, and we're going to look at them, we're going to talk about the collection, and kind of figure out the direction we want to go. He was my inspiration, obviously, for buying the 52 Topps Mickey Mantle, the card that he always wanted, and I wanted to give him so he could enjoy it. So, but some other people kind of along the way have played roles. I had a neighbor growing up that lived right behind me, and he never got into collecting quite as full-fledged as I did, but he collected a little bit as we were growing up, and we would trade cards, and same thing. I had a couple cousins, one in the Washington, D.C. area when I lived there. We would trade back and forth, and then the second one when I lived in New York, him and I would always walk to this local cigar store or Woolworths or whatever it was and pick up packs. So, you know, those guys kind of inspired me to keep going after I'd gotten started, to kind of keep going and keep my collection going. There's been a couple of guys that I work with that collect, and we get to talk about that from time to time, so they keep me inspired. And then modern day, other than my father, obviously my wife, I got to give her credit as well, because every night for at least an hour or two, I'm back here sorting, organizing, doing something. And she's very, very understanding. She gets my disease, you know, my passion, and she helps me open cards and never complains when I spend money. And so she's been a huge supporter of mine to keep the hobby going. So, you know, my inspiration lies with her as well. So that's kind of my story. Working on a couple vintage sets. I'm trying to finish the 1966 Topps set. I'm missing 2 cards to complete the master set, and then I'll go to 65. I'm missing about 40 cards, and once I'm done with that, I'll have base sets from Topps from 1965 to 2018. Plus I got a bunch of other sets, Stadium Club and Heritage and Inception and some others along the way, 5-star. So, but that's my story, my man. Obviously credit my father for the majority of my collecting habits, and like I said, some others along the way. So thank you again for doing the contest. I appreciate it. Well wishes to you on your continued growth of your channel, and always look forward to your videos. And stay classy, my friend.